Bam! What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Well, here we are. We them boys. And we sitting around where we have just signed our long snapper in free agency. Our long snapper. And Derrick Henry, now the big chip that was left on the table, has now agreed to not a 1 but a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. And the Cowboys, well, they're just sitting around, we got $3 million we can spend on a running back. And they can't work out a damn deal. So, yeah, this is the crazy thing is, this is every year. Every year we get excited. We see all the other teams out here signing players left and right. We know the problems that we have. And what the Cowboys are doing right here is they're setting up Dak Prescott to be the fall guy. They're going to go ahead and do the same thing that they did to Tony Romo. Okay? The same way we have gone through for 29 years. And they're going to say, well, we couldn't do anything in free agency because, we have to pay Dak and we got to pay CD and everything else. The problem here is that the Cowboys always wait until the last damn minute. The last minute. Thing is they're going to talk about wait until August. What's the advantage of waiting until August to sign Dak Prescott? I'm honestly asking this for a friend. What is waiting till August going to do for you? Is the price going to go down? No, it's not. Price will probably continue to rise. And this is the same thing. And I want you to understand that this is a pattern of the Joneses. Let's take DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence, who was coming off of his best season as a pro there and had done everything that you wanted. You knew you wanted to sign him to a deal. You talked to his agent and his people and stuff at the combine. Okay? At the combine. And, got a base of thinking that it was going to be $18 million. Well, the negotiations, they came back and said, we want a little bit more. We actually want 21. We heard Stephen Jones literally say, well, we thought we were going to get him for less money here. And didn't. Negotiations went on and on and on. To the point where DeMarcus Lawrence put a gun to their head by saying, you know what? Until I get a contract, I'm not going to get my soldier worked on. Just not. Which ended up being until May. He could have gotten his shoulder worked on as soon as the season ended and been able to start working out with the team and getting his shoulder together before the season. Instead, because he didn't get his labrum worked on until May, the recovery didn't allow him to really start working on it until basically the end of training camp. And it ended up being a lost season. And in the end, they ended up paying him the $21 million. Zeke Elliott, you had all off-season to try and get him signed. And you waited and said, we're not going to reset the market. And in the end, he sat out training camp, was in Cabo, supposedly working out. And what happens? You finally sign him. And you sign him to a contract that's not only the biggest, it is beyond the biggest, making him the second highest paid running back in the history of football. At the moment, I don't know if this is by design or if this is the Cowboys' actual plan, is to blow it up and start all over. But the Cowboys, in essence, have set off the time bomb of basically restarting it. And here's the worst part about this. If you're going to tank, you should go ahead and tank. Because what will happen with Dak Prescott? you'll probably see the best season ever of Dak Prescott. Because every time the Cowboys have had Dak Prescott bet on himself, he has come back and played better than expectations are. And Dak Prescott, knowing that this would be his swan song and putting himself out on the free agent market, can you imagine if you were, could you imagine this? If you ended up having an MVP season and were a free agent. And I can bet you that's the kind of season that you're going to see from Dak Prescott. He is going to play so damn good, breaking Cowboys records that he probably already owns, and literally says, bye, bitch. Yeah, that's what I expect to see. And the thing about this will be is, instead of the Cowboys being in a position, because the Cowboys aren't putting any talent on the field, they'll win enough games that maybe they'll be a playoff team. And they will end up good enough that they can't draft high enough to get the quarterback that they need. And then you've got Trey Lance, who you're going to have to basically make and decide, is he going to be the guy, and give him a long-term contract, because he only has one more year. And unless by May you end up picking up the fifth-year option, which is $24 million, you're going to have to make a deal with him. And you're going to owe Dak Prescott on the cap $36 million. In which case, you will end up wasting another season of trying to get another quarterback. I've been having this thought in my mind, and I've kind of said this a couple of times, that this is what's going on. I don't want to actually believe it, but I believe that this is the plan. When you go out in free agency and you know that you only have one running back who's 5'5" or 5'6" on your roster, and you say, we're only going to spend $3.5 million to replace him, knowing that you have two offensive starting linemen that are gone, knowing that you literally have injured linebackers. All three of your linebackers all have had major injuries. We're talking about neck, back, and ACL. That you've got to do something there. That you know that your defensive line is not good enough. And you have 16 free agents, and you restructure one deal to get $2 million. Yeah. You're not serious about winning.